In my previous video, I have discussed congruences and their properties. Let's see one example. Find the remainder 2 to the power 50 divided by 7. Okay? We all of us know 2 to the power 1 congruent to 2 modulo 7. Okay? Because 2 minus 2 equal to 0 and 7 divided by 0. From the property of congruence, we know if A congruent to B modulo n, then A to the power m congruent to B to the power m modulo n, where m belongs to natural number. Okay? From this property, we can write 2 square congruent to 4 modulo 7. Okay? Similarly, we can write 2 to the power cube congruent to 8, who is also congruent to 1 modulo 7. Okay? Because 8 minus 1 equal to 7 and 7 divided by 7. Now here the value 1. Now we can raise the power 16 both sides. Then it will be 2 cube to the power 16 congruent to 1 to the power 16 modulo 7. And this will be congruent to 1 modulo 7. Okay? Then we get 2 to the power 48 congruent to 1 modulo 7. We need to find 2 to the power 50. For this, we can multiply both sides by 2 square. Then it will be 2 to the power 48 into 2 square congruent to 2 square modulo 7. Okay? That means it will be 2 to the power 50 congruent to 4 modulo 7. That means 4 is remainder when 7 divided by 2 to the power 50. Okay? Now, the interesting example, find the least residue of 12 factorial with modulo 13. Okay? We all of us know 12 factorial equal to 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 7 times 8 times 9 times 10 times 11 times 12. Okay? Now, with modulo 13. Now we can divide it two parts, one positive residue, one negative residue. And this will be 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6. Here will be minus 6 times minus 5 times minus 4 times minus 3 times minus 2 times minus 1. And this will be equal to 1 into minus 1 equal to 1 square, 2 into minus 2 equal to 2 square. That means 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square. Okay? We can write it easily 2.6 whole square times 3.4 whole square times 5 square modulo 13. Okay? Here will be modulo 13. 2 into 6 equal to 12, and in modulo 13 this will be congruent to minus 1 whole square. Okay, 3 into 4 12, and then this will be minus 1 whole square times 5 square mod 13. Okay, this is similar 5 square because this is 1 modulo 13. This can write 25 modulo 13 with modulo 13, 25 congruent to 12 modulo 13, and this is the residue value of 12 factorial with mod 13. Okay, right. We have discussed the set of residue classes modulo n by the symbol Zn in my previous video. Now I will go to see the solution of the congruence equation. Okay, and before going to higher degree, now we want to know what is linear congruence has a solution. Okay, let's see the definition of the linear congruence. Let fx equal to a naught xn plus a1 x to the power n minus 1 plus dot dot plus a so on plus n greater than 1 be a polynomial with integer coefficient a0, a1, so on an. We a naught not congruent to 0 with modulo m, then fx congruent to 0 modulo m is said to be a polynomial congruence modulo m of degree n. Okay, right? And a polynomial congruence of degree 1 is said to be linear congruence. The general form of a linear congruence of modulo m is ax congruent to b modulo m. Okay, an integer c is said to be solution of a linear congruence ax congruent to b modulo m if ac congruent to b modulo m. Okay, right. Now I will discuss one theorem. Theorem is, if f is a polynomial with integer coefficient, then for any two integer a and b and non-zero integer m, a congruent to b modulo m, then fa congruent to f of b modulo m. Okay, let fx equal to c0 xn plus c1 x to the power n minus 1 plus so on cn. Okay, where c0, c1, cn belongs to integer. Okay, and if a congruent to b modulo m, then a square congruent to b square modulo m. Okay, similarly a cube congruent to b cube modulo m, and so on. A to the power n congruent to b to the power n modulo m. Okay, if we multiply any constant, let's see n minus 1 a congruent to cn minus 1 b modulo m, where cn minus 1 b any coefficient. Okay, then it can be cn minus 2 a square congruent to cn minus 2 b square modulo m. Okay, where cn minus 2 also a constant term, so on. Then c naught a to the power n congruent to c naught b to the power n modulo m. Okay, where c naught also a constant term. Now adding this term, then I will be, after adding f a congruent to f of b modulo m. Okay, have you understood the theorem? Right. Now let's see solution of the linear congruence. It can be one, it can be two, or no solution, or many solution. Okay, let's see one example. 2x congruent to 3 modulo 7. We all of us know 8 congruent to 1 modulo 7. Because why 1? Because what is remainder when 8 divided by 7? It will be 1. Okay. Now multiply this equation by 4. Multiply 1 by 4. 1. Then 1 will be 8x congruent to 12 modulo 7. Okay. Then from this relation it will be x congruent to 5 modulo 7. Okay, have you understood? Okay, that means if we put x congruent to 5 modulo 7, then the equation will be 2 times 5, which equal to 10. 10 congruent to 3 modulo 7. That means x equal to 5 is a solution. Okay, right. Let's look at another example. 2x congruent to 9 mod 12. You can check it by putting the element of Z12. Otherwise, if x0 be any natural number, was a solution to the congruence if 12 divide 2x0 minus 9. Okay, and this is the odd number, so 12 cannot divide 2x0 minus 1, so it has no solution. Okay, what is wrong what is going to wrong? There is a common divisor 2 and 12. This is 2 and this divisor should divides. Okay, when we look, the common divisor divides another number, then it has a solution. Okay, right. The theorem is the linear congruence Ax congruent to b modulo n has a solution if d divides b. Okay, where d equal to GCD of a comma n, right? If d divide b, then it has d mutually incongruent solution modulo n. Okay. In the previous example, 2x congruent to 9 modulo 12. Here the GCD of a and n, 12, 2 and 12 equal to 2. 2 does not divide 9. So, it has no solution. Okay? Right.